Hello there, welcome back to So Connected, a podcast created intentionally to discuss topics that leave you feeling more connected to yourself and to the world around you. My name is Sophia, and today we're talking about self awareness. I think that self awareness is a word that we're using a lot these days, but in my experience, I think that it can be overwhelming. It can sound like a loaded word. So, the intention of this episode is to bring more clarity to the self or more understanding for yourself, for the different systems that make up yourself. That way, you're not overwhelmed. That way, you get a better understanding of yourself. And that way, you make better choices or you just become aware of what's going on within and outside. So, you we all have four systems, four body systems. There's the mental system, the emotional system, the physical system, and the spiritual system. And each of these systems is extremely important and is is contributing to your health, maybe negatively or positively. If any of these systems is out of balance or out of alignment, we get to feel this. If your mental system is out of alignment, you feel that. Same for the emotional, same for the spiritual and physical. In my opinion, if you are if you have the mental, emotional and physical systems in line or in balance and the spiritual system is out of balance, there's still going to be feelings of uh, being lost for someone. They're still going to be in search of that, of enlightenment, of peace, of joy, of happiness. They're still going to be in a certain cycle. So in my opinion, I think the spiritual system is the most important. So by the end of this video or episode, you are going to see if that makes sense to you too. You let me know in the comments. Firstly, before we start, I want to know, what is your view of self awareness? What is your understanding of self awareness? When you see this term going around, what do you think for yourself? What does being aware of yourself mean? All right, let's dive in. So, the four systems. Mental. The mental system is your thought life. That's where your thoughts are, that's where your mindset is, that's where your belief systems are, your perception of the world, your judgments, your identity. What else is in the mental system? The mental system also has your habits and your patterns. The emotional system. The emotional system is your feelings, your emotions, how you process your emotions, how you deal with your emotions. For example, how you act when you're angry or when you're happy. That is your emotional system. Your spiritual system is your connection to the world, is your connection to your gut. It's your connection to animals, to plants. Your spiritual system is religion, if you practice religion. Your spiritual system is your connection to the universe and your view of your creator. I don't want to say God because I think the word God has been reduced. The word God has been reduced, if we're being honest. People say the word God, but I think we all have a different definition of what that is. So let me, I'm going to try to use the word creator for this channel. That way you understand that you were created from a specific energy, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Your connection to that. That's the spiritual system. And then the final system is the physical system. The physical system is your body. It is your physical appearance. It is the things that you have in your life or don't have, like your car, your health, your house, food. The physical system is the manifestations in your life or lack of. So, those four systems are you, and your your health relies on these systems. I think sometimes some people like to separate the mind from the body, or the body from the mind, or the body and mind from the soul. And with those four systems, you can see that it takes into account the mind, body, and soul. The mind is your mental system. The body is the physical system, but it's also the is also the spiritual system. Uh, and then the soul is the spiritual system. So you see that if you pay attention to this system separately, at least in my opinion, I've found that there's more ease in understanding who I am. And I think that for anyone who is overwhelmed or who feels like they have so much going on inside of them that they don't want to even try to be aware, I think if you break it down into mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical, you might be able to identify where your problem is, or where or what is out of balance, let me say. And when I say out of balance, that's what we call problems or diseases, or things like that. It's just that I'm trying to use language that doesn't have negative connotation on it, because in this process of self awareness, it's so important to not judge yourself, or to judge the things that come up as you're discovering yourself. Because self awareness is self discovery. You're on a journey of getting to know who you are. This is a tour within yourself, an intentional tour. What I didn't say at the beginning of this episode is self awareness is not for those who are not interested in themselves. This is not an easy journey. It's not a journey that you start and stop. It's a journey you take forever. Forever. We on this podcast, we are people who intend to be aware of ourselves, of our actions, of our inner states forever. So that takes genuine curiosity about yourself, genuine curiosity about what is going on inside of you, what is going on inside your mind, inside your body. Do you not want to know? Or do you want other people to tell you? Because it is likely that that right now you're carrying other people's opinions because you haven't taken the time to figure it out for yourself, to take out the nonsense and keep what is still useful to you. I hope I'm starting to make sense. This journey, excuse me, this journey is not for someone who's not interested in themselves. If you're not curious about yourself, at some point you're not going to want to do this. That's what I'm going to say to kind of preface this journey. All right. So, now that you have a bit of an understanding of the four systems that you have, I wanted to talk about how awareness of these systems, or a lack of awareness of these systems, can affect you or the people around you, the connections that you make. So we're going to start with the mental system. The mental system, like I said, it is your thought life, it's your mindset, your beliefs, your perceptions, those constant thoughts that you have. If you're ruminating, that is all your mental system. So if you're aware of this system, you are probably going to realize how much this system can lie to you, because the mind is pretty much the ego. It's trying to identify everything. It's judging, it's that voice, that monologue in your head, that's the mental system. And if you're aware and you become the watcher, you start to watch, then you can see that sometimes that system might not know what it's doing. What is that phrase that goes? The mind is it's a great something about being a great slave but a terrible master, and I agree with that. Most of us don't use our minds. The mind uses us with this compulsive thinking, with not analyzing the beliefs that we carry. So let's say you're not aware of your mental system. You're not aware of the beliefs that you have. You haven't taken time to look at the things you believe right now and see. First of all, you ask yourself, does this align with me, with my values? Is this belief aligning with me? Because most of us are carrying beliefs that align with society, with culture, with our parents, our families. And then, where's your voice? And then we become resentful because we let these other people control our lives, but you haven't taken the time to become aware of the beliefs that have been running your entire life. So is today the day you're going to ask yourself if some beliefs are serving you or not? If you have any belief at this point in this episode, I think we need to start watching ourselves like hawks. You're watching every single thought that comes in, even the things that you think you know, you're going to have to analyze it. For example, in my own life, there was a point where I reached, and my religion fueled fear. I was scared. I felt like my religion was a burden. So, when I got to that point, I had to ask myself, I had to choose. Choose to blame the people who taught me, who raised me, or preachers who use fearful language, or choose to become aware of the state that I'm in, aware of a state that I'm in of fear, a state of discomfort, a state of not wanting to pursue a relationship with God. And in that awareness, I realized that I was carrying other people's beliefs because I didn't get to analyze my own relationship with God, analyze and build. So when that happened, I literally went back to square one of my religion. Everything I thought I knew, I started to learn it again on my own terms, get my own Quran and read it in my own way, get my own perception of God, not other people's perception of God. And with that, I got my own awareness that it doesn't matter what other people are saying. I am so firm in what I know, but I also know that what I know could change. There has to be some humility with this process of awareness that you can become aware of something today, but tomorrow it could change, and then you're aware of something else. You have to be open minded. But it is fun. It is fun. It's just that we have to release that sense of control that we want so badly to experience the fun that I'm talking about. So, I don't know if the mental systems, if I was able to explain that one clearly. I was talking about beliefs, but there's also another example that I could give. Let's say for me, who comes from specific cultures where you can be told that if you marry someone from this tribe, they're going to be very dirty, they're going to be very annoying. So when you grow up and you carry that belief, you're going to be judging people that you haven't taken the time to understand because you have that belief that you were told about someone. So most of us, we're very judgmental people, but it's not even our fault. It's only because we haven't taken time to analyze if we fully understand the things that we're judging, if we have any kind of perspective on the things that we're judging, or if our perspective is rooted in ignorance. I think I think sometimes it's hard to face these things, but if you don't judge yourself, you're going to release any negative opinion you have of yourself that might come during this process. But there's so many things in the mental system, and if if we're looking at people today who are suffering from depression or anxiety, and you look at the constant thoughts that they have, I think first of all these people need guidance, like with a healthcare professional. I would say a therapist, and then maybe you can go to a coach, but I'll start with a therapist to help you with these thoughts. I think you need some guidance, but if you're a person who's suffering from anxiety or depression, know that if you get a coach like myself who can help you break down these specific systems and analyze what the problem is, you will realize that there's so much freedom that you can have. In fact, even believing, oh, I should have said that at the beginning too, of the mental system. Our beliefs truly shape our entire reality and existence and perceptions. What you believe is your world. If you believe that, if you tuned into this episode, saw me, and you believe that people who look like me, I don't know, have a certain negative, I don't know, something, I'm trying to give an example. That's going to be a belief. Everything I'm going to do is going to be negative to you. You're going to find me annoying. And most things that we're suffering from today come from our beliefs. If you don't believe that you're going to have a happy life, it's very likely that you're not going to have a happy life or a life that has any joy in it, because that's what you believe. But if you believe that you can have all the success, all the love, all the joy, all the things that you want, you are going to have those things. Belief is so important in any process of life. In fact, think about any successful person, excuse me, that you know, that you follow. The one thing successful people will constantly tell you is to never stop believing in yourself, because for the most part people might not believe in you, but you must believe in yourself. As you see me here, I believe in myself, in the message that I'm giving, to a point that I am not discouraged by anything, by views, but I I believe in what I'm saying here. That is why I have this energy towards it, and you can probably feel it. Belief is going to push so many things. And if you're in a place where you don't have hope, you're in a state of despair, it's hard to believe, ask for belief. Ask your creator to give you faith, to give you belief. Because people think that belief is something you just get on a silver spoon. Sometimes you have to ask for it, because some situations truly break you and you really want to give up. And in those moments is when I ask God, please help me have faith. Help me not give up on myself. Help me not give up on you. All right. So, the emotional system. Now, in the emotional system, a lack of awareness of the emotional system. Shoot, I do have a story on this one too, in my own experience, where I avoided my emotions for years. It wasn't intentional though, because when you're in a state of unconsciousness or unawareness, you don't know. You don't know that you're avoiding. You don't know that you are distracting yourself. Something that we do a lot today because we have so many distractions. We don't want to feel our feelings. We don't want to hear what's going on inside. You feel anger, you feel sad, you want to watch Netflix, you want to maybe drink or distract yourself in whatever way. But that suppression does lead to depression. There is evidence to show that when we ignore our emotions, it does something to our bodies, to our physical bodies. And how we process emotions, how we process our feelings is related to our health. And you want to ask yourself that. How do you act when you're happy? How do you act when you're angry? For most of us, for me, in my experiences, I was very reactive. In fact, even to this day, there's still some situations where I'm completely unconscious and I react rather than respond. And I think that with the emotions, I do understand how we can be avoidant of them because some of them are truly heavy. And that's where a friend comes in. That's where your friends come in, where you can talk to them. And you don't have to talk to a group chat, it could just be one trusted friend that you tell how you're feeling. Be honest, be vulnerable, let them see you. And in that process is the catharsis that most of us seek, but unfortunately we avoid. But I will tell you that as someone who pretended to be okay for years and then finally shared my inner state, it's the best thing I've ever done for myself. It strengthened my relationships. How can you connect to people when you're disconnected from yourself? I think I started to connect more to people after I started being a vulnerable person. When I don't like something, I'm saying it. When I'm hurt by something, I'm saying it. When I'm extremely happy or overjoyed, I'm saying it. That builds connections, strong connections. So, for most of us, because we hold back our feelings, we think we're burdens, we think people cannot handle what we're going through, we end up becoming lonely and disconnected. And the US Surgeon General released a report this year about the epidemic of loneliness, and it shows that loneliness is linked to illnesses. It's linked to several illnesses, actually, and diseases, chronic illnesses to be specific. I'm not trying to fearmonger, but like I said at the beginning of this episode, each of these systems contributes to your health. And if you ignore the systems, they they are going to reveal to you with time that they have been ignored. So let's move on to the next system, the spiritual system. So awareness and lack of awareness of the spiritual system. Think of your spiritual system as your higher self. That person you want to be, but you probably will never be. For me, my example of my spiritual self, my higher self is she's a very good listener. She is kind. She is very present, very present. Um, she is extremely empathetic. She is, she's grateful. She holds space for everyone. She has deep respect for everyone in their journey. That's my higher self. There's so many other values I have for her, but I could tell you right now that I am not her. I can be impatient. I can be unkind. I can be uh, disrespectful. Shoot, I can be. And saying that is showing you that I am only trying to be better. Every day I wake up and I'm determined to be better. And then I assess at the end of the day, what could I have done better today? What did I do great today? Tomorrow, we're going to improve those things. Every day, you're committed to being your higher self. And then when you achieve the values of the higher self, if you get to a point where you achieve them, you create another ideal. Because this higher self kind of keeps you in the direction of your values, of who you actually want to be, of the kind of person you want to be, the legacy you want to leave. Your spiritual self is someone who is, I don't know, so powerful in my opinion. So powerful, untapped. But if you're not aware of your spiritual system, you don't have values. You don't care about anything. You're going to kill people, you're going to rob them, you're going to do a whole bunch of things that are harmful to people around you because you don't have values. Your values come into your spiritual system, because they're the ones that stop you. You know, like just say your friends call you, they say, hey, we have somebody that we can rob. They are a great asset. They have everything we need. They are going to make us rich. And then you get that call. What are you going to say? Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. If you say that, you don't have any values. You don't value honesty. You don't value integrity. You don't value kindness. If you decide not to go, you're going to be like, I see the opportunity here, but this goes against my values, so I will not partake. You see, your values are the ones that are going to stop you from doing the most crazy things. If you don't identify your values, it's very likely that you're going to get to a place and ask yourself how you're there, how you got there, why you're there. Like, how did you even? You're going to get to your destination, you won't even understand how you got there because you didn't get the values. The values are like the guiding light, in my opinion. And eventually they get you to success, in my opinion. They really do. Well, it depends on the values you have. If you value killing people, I don't know how successful you're going to be. But wow, I'm just thinking my examples are kind of morbid, but hey, that's the state I'm in right now. Hey, those are examples I can think of. I don't understand. Anyway, let's go to the spiritual system. Actually, I'm on the spiritual system. The spiritual system, I was still saying, your values, your higher self, religion. So you see how people go to religion, because religion is going to make the values clear for you. It's going to make the actions clear for you, that if you do this, you're going to stay on track. You're going to stay on the straight path. If you do these things, you're going to get off track. So if you're a person who doesn't follow any religion, you need the values. You need values. You need to draw up some values today. You know, as you're sitting there, Google values, examples of values. They're going to bring you so many things: honesty, kindness, integrity. There's just so many. So you're going to choose the things that you know, I care so much about honesty. I am an honest person. Stand on them. And even for the things that you don't think you are yet, that you want to be, put those in your values. Because as you're moving through your day, if you're a person who values kindness, every day you're going to be aware of your kindness or lack of. In every engagement, you're going to ask, was I kind enough? Maybe I should have been kinder. That's what your values do for you. They truly help you become a better person. A lot of us these days, I think we don't have values, but I think we don't have values because we weren't told that values are actually extremely important. We've been told to chase different things like money, success, or fame, and these are the things. But I think that a lot of successful people have very strong values. Like, they have things that they really, really want to be a part of their brands, and that's what has made them extremely successful. Anyway, the last system is the physical system, your body. If you're aware of your body or of your environment, of the manifestations that you have, you're going to have health in the body. For example, if you're aware of your current physical body right now, you are treating it in a way that takes care of it. You are eating healthy, you're eating your vegetables, but you're also not depriving yourself of food, of the things that you want. There's some kind of balance. You take your water, you exercise, that's all taking care of your physical body. But when it comes to the manifestations, if you're aware of your physical system, it means that you are grateful for the things that you have. It means that you're grateful for the car that you have, for the house that you live in, for the bed that you stay in, for the shoes that you wear. You're grateful for the manifestations that you have. if you are aware. If you're not aware, you are chasing. You have all the things that you probably need today and forever in the world, but you're chasing for more. And you have been chasing. And you'll probably be chasing forever because you cannot satisfy that void that is going to be filled with gratitude. I really hope you have a better understanding of yourself now after we've discussed the four systems, the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. If you pay attention to these systems individually, I think you're going to find out what is out of balance, what is giving you trouble. Maybe it's your mindset, maybe it's how you think, maybe you have more negative thoughts than positive. Maybe it's your emotions. You don't talk to anyone about how you feel. You're not honest about your emotions. You pretend to be okay when you're not. Is it your spiritual system? You don't have any values. You don't feel connected to the world outside of yourself. You don't feel connected to animals, to plants, to anything. You feel alone. So your loneliness makes you feel like the world is against you. And then the physical system, your body, the manifestation of, think of your physical system as the manifestation of all the three systems, the mental, emotional, and spiritual. Everything that's going on in your mental system, your emotional system, and spiritual system is going to manifest in the physical system. It's going to manifest on your body or in your life, in the things you have or don't have. So, in my next video, I'm going to be talking about how you can become aware of these four systems, how you can build awareness in each of these four systems. Please let me know what you learned from this video. If you learned anything, please let me know what you want to add that I didn't talk about, any insight, anything you've learned on your self-awareness journey. I would really love to know what you think. I would love to know what you'd love to hear about self-awareness, what you want to improve. If there's anything, any video that I can create for you, write it down, because I want to give you all the information, all the tips, anything that you need that's going to get you to that path where you can choose, where you have the awareness to choose, where you have enough information to choose, to make choices that align with your highest self, choices that make you a better person, not just for yourself, but for your community, for your family, for your friends. Yeah, thank you so much for giving me your time today. Please follow, subscribe, follow me on my Instagram. That's my main social media. And yeah, I will see you in my next episode. Stay connected.